Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and today's video is just an impromptu video I've made in response to a post that I read on Reddit yesterday, which was like Sunday the 29th. I've been having a couple of PMs exchange with the guy who made the post. Seems like a really nice guy, and I also got some like messages from other people asking me about tilt management too, and I guess it's just an issue that I've covered before, but I think it's something that's worth covering again. And rather than bumping an old video, just making another one just to like share my thoughts on tilt and how I dealt with mine basically, and the issues that I had. So it's kind of more of a this is what happened to me, this is how I dealt with it type video that hopefully helps some of you guys out who clearly struggle with it. I think starting off, back in the day when I was doing my tilting, my major tilting back in like 07 through 09, I would say. Poker was much easier back then, and I was still tilting, and poker was way easier than it is now. It's much easier and much more understandable why players tilt so much easier. It's because games are just so bloody hard. Poker's not easy. It's really not easy. It's hard to have a big win rate, so therefore with lower win rate comes higher variance. Maybe players aren't quite understanding or quite accurately assessing where their edge is in games, so they maybe have slightly unrealistic expectations, and then get tilted when they don't meet them. That's like a common theme. I think that the players that find their way to me they're just like, I should be beating these games for X, Y, Z amount of money, and I'm not. Why? And quite often the answer is because, without being rude, you're not good enough to beat them for that limit yet, because the games aren't as soft as you think they are, and perhaps you're not quite as good as you think you are. But we're gonna just disseminate this guy's post a little bit, and just because I think he makes some mistakes in this post or in this thought process here that I think lots of you guys are probably making too. First of all, putting in place a stop loss. I'm not that into stop losses. If you're like a real monkey tilter who can just drop off a cliff, having a stop loss in place is not going to help you, because you're just going to say fuck stop loss. Absolutely fuck stop loss. Unless you have your stop loss so low that it kicks in way before tilt does. So if you know after losing a buy-in, you just lose your shit, and you know, if you get stacked, you lose your shit and you just drop another 5 bites, then I guess we could argue that you have a stop loss of 50 big blinds or something like that. But obviously that's ridiculous. I mean, if we had a stop loss of 50 big blinds, quite often we'd never get sessions in. But if your stop loss is 3 buy-ins, but you're already on tilt after 2 buy-ins, then your stop loss, you're not going to kick in, because your brain's going to say, fuck you, I know we want to stop loss at 2, but I want to chase my fucking losses, or whatever. So having those kind of stop losses that you require your own personal discipline isn't going to work. If you want to implement stop losses, you need to go and buy a piece of software called Tilt Breaker, which will force you to institute stop losses. It's a program where it just sits in the background on your computer when you're playing poker, and if you can preset, you can say, if I lose 2 buy-ins from my highest point, or if I lose 3 buy-ins from my highest point, or something like that, or if I lose 3 buy-ins in any given day, you can set all kinds of different parameters where it will just lock you out for a predefined period. And you can set all these things. It doesn't take over your computer in terms of it decides when you stop playing. You put it all in advance. You pre-agree with the software. This is what I want you to do for me, and the software says, right, fuck you, I'm doing it. And you can't get around it. Rebooting your computer, doing this, there's nothing. Once you lock out your lockdown periods in play, there's no getting around it. I guess you could just boot up another computer if you're that motivated, but on the computer the software's on, there's no getting around it. You just can't play. So if you do want stop losses, and tilt breaker's the way to go. But sometimes I think stop losses can be bad, because if you're just running bad in a good game, why would you want to have a stop loss in a good game? You'd want to continue grinding the good game. Similarly, if you're not having hit your stop loss, but you're in a bad game, then sometimes it's best to say, you know what, just before this gets really on my nerves, I'm just going to fucking pack it in, because there'll be a better game in an hour or 2 hours or tomorrow or something. So that's where stop losses, that's my thoughts on stop losses. I think in theory they're good ideas. In practice, I think we actually need physical help with them by way of having some software. Number 2, stop trying to beat the micro stakes. Yeah, I get this. I totally get this. Sorry, it's been thrown out by my daughter messaging me. Because I've been trying to do some like bankroll challenges down the times. I've never really finished one because it's really hard to be motivated to play poker at stakes that just don't stimulate you. If you're trying to play 2NL, 5NL and like grind a roll up, it's really hard because you're still not going to have a big win rate. It's unlikely you're going to have a win rate that's going to allow you to like smash at the limits really quickly in terms of like big blinds per 100. You're going to have to put a lot of hours of hard grinding to win to build a bankroll. And at the start of these challenges, that's like, yeah, looking forward to getting stuck into this. 20 hours in and you've only made $20 or $15 or something like that. You're like, fucking hell. Okay, it's a long way before I get to this $100 so I can move up to 5NL or whatever. And it just becomes like super, super daunting. So I think like bankroll management at the lower stakes, unless you are somebody who's literally playing with your case money, is kind of bullshit. You want to just most guys who are playing 2NL, 5NL, if you have a job and if you have like an income stream, I think you can just say, fuck it, I'm going to start at 10NL. If I've got $100, I'm just going to play 10NL with $100. And if I lose $50, I'll just redeposit $50 and keep going until I finally make it stick. Assuming you have the capacity to reload $50. If you don't, then that's bad advice. Don't follow it. If you have $100 on the site and if you lose that $100, that is your poker career over, then you need to be grinding 2NL or 5NL. But if you have $100 and you have an income of $1,500 a month, of which you have 200 or 300, which you can do however you please. That's your social money. That's your money to spend on beer, on women, on fucking cocaine, on whatever, on poker. Then it's not such a big deal if you take liberties with your bankroll at the lowest limits. So yeah, I get it. Play as high as you can afford to play, and like stay in those games as long as you can. So if you've got $150 and you want to play 25NL, probably a bad idea because it's hard to continue to reload like $100, $150 a week off most normal working class people's wages. But if you can afford to reload, say $40, $50 a week on a regular basis until you finally become a winning player at that limit, then fuck it. My advice is just do it. Have some more fun with your poker. Play stakes that actually mean something to you. A lot of people won't like that advice. They'll say, oh, that's bad advice. But at the lower stakes where we have incomes, bankrolls they're kind of unnecessary. We don't need a bankroll when we've got an income stream, basically. If we have an income stream that allows us to stay in the games we're in, we don't really need a bankroll. We just need the income stream. It's when your income stream no longer supports the games you're in, that's when you start to need a bankroll. So, yeah, if your income stream allows you to play 10NL, but your bankroll is saying I should be playing 5NL, then fuck the bankroll, go with the income stream. As long as you're willing to redeposit. 3, ban myself from casino games. This is a serious leak that lots of players that find their way out to me. Casino games, sports betting, fucking randomly flying off the handle and playing PLO, or fuck it, I'm just going to play a $200 MTT with my $400 bankroll because I'm tilted and I'm steamed. Doing generally degenerate things fucks up a lot of people because they'll use it to chase losses. I've known guys, I'm not going to name names, but if he's listening he'll know who he is, who like lost half his roll steaming it off at the online casinos. He's been playing, he's been grinding, he's lost, I don't know, whatever he's lost this night, and he's just gone and started just putting $50 on red a few times, and before you know it, he's like, fucking hell, Reg, I'm back to square one. I've just done 1,000 in the casino, I've just done 500 in the casino, or I've been playing higher stakes than I fucking should do. I decided to sit at a 200L table and I got my house handed to me twice. That happens way more than most people care to admit. Lots of people won't admit to that because they feel shameful about it. I think feeling shameful, you shouldn't feel shameful because we're human beings, but people do. No one wants to admit I've just done something incredibly stupid. Same with lost 20 buy-ins at poker. It's not shameful. No one cares. People just say it happens all the time. But if you say I've just punted off half of my bankroll on red or black on the casino, or blackjack, or by playing stakes that I shouldn't have been playing, but basically if you lose a lot of your money by doing something you know you shouldn't have done, that's a lot harder to admit, and a lot of the times people who I'm working with won't tell me that's happened until it's too late. and it can be super damaging. So if you are like have other type of like degenerate side issues on the site where your bankroll is, if you can impose some limits, like on PokerStars, for example, you can say, I don't want to play higher than a certain limit, and you can set that so you need a 24-hour cooling off period. So if you decided you wanted to all of a sudden go and play 500 Zoom, if your parameters are set to you can't play higher than 25 and L, you can up that limit to play 500 Zoom, but it takes 24 hours. And by the time that 24 hours has come around, you're probably thinking, I don't want to play 500 Zoom anymore because I'm not steaming off my fucking tits, I'm not tilting. So therefore, you'll just reset your balance, you'll just reset your limits next time you log in, and that won't be an issue. I'm not sure how easy it is to ban yourself from casino games. I'm not sure sites, if you ban yourself from casino games, you ban you from poker. I don't know. You'd have to look into your individual site. But yeah, if you can ban yourself from the casino games where your bankroll is, then I would suggest doing that. If you want to play casino games elsewhere with like a carefully selected piece of money, then that's up to you. I personally wouldn't play them. They're negative EV. But if you like having a go on the slots or a go on the roulette or whatever, do it somewhere where you don't keep your bankroll, and do it somewhere where you only have small amounts of money, so when you do lose it, you know, you're not putting your bankroll in jeopardy. And then this last one. If I tilt again in a major way and do something stupid again, I'll post about it here, etc. I've done this so many times. There used to be an old forum years ago, Eat My Stack it was called, in English forum. That's where I met a lot of good people and finally got the help I needed to become a winning player. I used to do shit like that all the time. I'd start making prop bets. If I can't do this, or if I can't do that, this is my new fucking goal. I'd set bad goals and I'd prop bet on them that I could beat them, that I could achieve the goal. And it was a lot of it was around like making money and not tilting, because I kind of thought, well, if I set myself a goal that I'm going to beat 50 and L on fucking Betfair for 8 blinds, 100 of 100,000 hands, that means I'm not allowed to tilt, because if I tilt I can't win the bet. So I'd set a goal that was almost impossible to achieve, then I'd bet on it to try and force myself to achieve it, and I'd end up just losing the money and losing the prop bets too. It was a fucking big disaster. And this is similar. This guy's doing a similar thing here. If I'll post that I'm just a fun player, I'm not fit to play poker, and I give someone $25. Like setting like punishments for failing to meet your goals is just nothing good can come of that. I understand why people do it. It's kind of trying to set like a forfeit, but it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. It doesn't motivate you. It just kind of punishes you for failure, and you're already being punished for failure by not having the results you wanted. So I wouldn't do that either. So tilt is like I said to this person a couple of PMs, it's a really personal thing. We're never going to cover tilt in like one 15-minute video, and we're not going to cover it in a 15-hour video because it's so personal to different people. But if you are having any like tilt management issues, and you'd like to just have a session where we just talk through things and what have you, please do get in touch. I'd imagine that tilt management is one of the biggest things that holds people back in poker these days, because a lot of the time it's like the tilting, but there's underlying things that trigger the tilt. If we fix them, the tilt becomes much less, but players' games also improve. Tilt is quite often just masking other problems within your game, and we kind of remove the mask of tilt, we can actually get to the root cause of your problems. You can improve as a player and reduce your tilt at the same time. But if you're on your own, like this gentleman clearly doesn't have many people to talk to about poker. And so if you're trying to do it on your own, it's just too much. It's a monumental task. My rates are below the video. They are pretty cheap. You're not going to find cheaper. And if you're just someone you want to talk to just for an hour, say, look, can I just have one session with you for an hour? I want to just unload on you. I want to like just get everything off my mind, get some feedback from you, hopefully pick up some pointers on where to go forward. Please do get in touch. It might well be the best $30 you ever spend. I will try and respond to some comments below if there's lots of comments coming in, but I'm not going to promise to respond to them all, because if this proves to be a video that attracts a lot of comments, it's going to take me a long time to respond to them. But if there's common themes coming out, I'll try and respond to the ones where there's common themes. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there. If you are struggling with your tilt or struggling with your game and you like a session, you know where to find me. Please get in touch, and I'll look forward to hearing from some of you in the near future. Bye bye for now.